I have nothing against canola. No, seriously. And if you use olive oil, I think you've got to be really careful that you don't use a particularly robust olive oil, right?
Totally. It definitely changes the flavor. So I'm here today with composer John Luther Adams. John, thank you so much for talking with us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
I don't know how you emotionally relate to the fact that you are here.
I'm amused by it.
Yeah.
My wife and I are constantly amused at here we are, these cabin hippies from Alaska, and we're living in Manhattan.
Yeah.
But we're having a ball.
Yeah.
We love it.
I know that you have had a lot of your time dedicated to political activism, and I think that you've spoken a lot about how that informs the way that you write music, the way that you think about music. How does it inform how you listen to other people's music?
That's a great question, Alex. I'm sure that it does influence, but it's one of those things that maybe I don't examine as often as I should. I went to Alaska when I was 21, and I was running away from my family, from the suburbs, from academia, from the competitive careerism of the music business. I was running away everything. Turns out, of course, that I was running to everything. I was running to my real home, the home I'd never had, my real family, the one I chose, and my life's work. And early on, I think I had this idea, patently ridiculous idea, that somehow I could step outside of culture, step outside of musical history, and reconnect directly to the roots of all human intelligence and expression and culture. As my friend Barry Lopez says, landscape is the culture that contains all human cultures. So that was my idea. Of course, I'm inextricably part of the culture that I grew up in and that I live in. When I go to listen to music in concert halls, I bring this odd kind of left field perspective to music in general. My idea of music is odd. You know, it's informed as much by bird songs. I know more about bird songs than I know about Johann Sebastian Bach. I love both.
Yeah.
But it's a different perspective. So I oftentimes hear other people's music through that lens. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, sure.
It's a long, rambling response, but there's a book in your question.
Well, you should write it.
Okay, I'm working on it.
I'm curious if and how, your success in the recent years has changed things for you.
People have always been really wonderful to me.
Yeah.
I've been so fortunate to benefit from the kindness, the generosity, the love of so many people. But now there are more people who will talk to me.
Yeah.
Which is lovely. But maybe it's just wishful thinking, Alex, but I like to say that this recent outburst of respectability hasn't really changed anything. And maybe that's because it's happened late enough in my creative life that I already know what my job is. I know what my work is about, and it's my deepest joy and my deepest obligation, my responsibility to just follow the work wherever it wants to lead me. So I love it. I love all this love and attention.
Yeah.
But I'm also I'm not impressed by it.
Right.
Certainly not impressed with myself. So hopefully it hasn't changed my life.
Yeah.
Very much at all, except that that I know a little farther out now what projects I can do.
Yeah.
And maybe it's making it a little bit easier to do what I've always done, which is exactly what I want to do.
Yeah, it's so good to hear, because I think that, I mean, this is sort of an aside, but so many composers, successful or not, are so bitter. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
unhappy.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people,
yeah, that's true.
and I think success doesn't bring those people happiness either. You know?
I'm afraid you're right, and I don't know. I certainly have as much capacity for self-pity as the next person.
We all, yeah.
But I've never. What a profound, what an incredible gift.
Yeah.
What in my life? How can I be bitter?
Yeah.
I've done pretty much exactly what I wanted to do my whole life, and I believe in it.
Yeah.
And so, this or that, I didn't get this or that award, or somebody else doesn't like my music or doesn't play it, or I don't know. So what?
Yeah. It's an inspiring sensibility, I have to say. Well, thank you so much for talking with me
a pleasure.
today. It's been great.
Yeah. Nice corn too.